Hi everyone, Florian Puhani here. Today with my 4 favorite unconventional ways of shouldering a sandbag. The first one here makes the actual shouldering move really easy, because when you're sitting, the top of your tucked knees is about level with your upper chest. It felt like I could lift much heavier weights from there onto my shoulder. From then on, however, I guess I would have to brace myself with a contralateral arm. But since it is still only my 61 kg sandbag I'm handling here, actively using my free arm would have felt just wrong. So I tried to avoid it. But as you will see and hear in a moment, I failed on the first attempt. So I tried again with the intention not to touch my leg with the free arm. Also, this time I started from a straddle sit position, because lying on my back with the sandbag beside me and pulling it onto my belly felt already boring at this point. So I decided to skip that easy step. Now here is the tricky part of the movement. Getting the ipsilateral foot behind me while keeping my upper body upright enough, just with the strength of my core muscles. I've slowed the video down so you can ascertain that I'm at no point bracing myself with my free arm. This time it worked. Getting onto both knees from that kind of hurdle sit position takes a considerable amount of hip extensor strength in the front leg. Standing up from there is comparatively easy again. And whenever I stand with a sandbag on one shoulder, I always like to move it over to the other shoulder, just to prove myself I really have it under control up there. It may look a bit clumsy, but I don't mind. To me it feels like a sensible completion of the shouldering process, because it also kind of evens out the load on my spine. The second technique is what I consider the supreme discipline of sandbag shouldering. In a minute I will explain why, but I think I've also made some remarks live.
No leg drive allowed at all.
It turned out getting the legs out of the way completely wasn't all that easy. In the end I managed to abstain from giving the sandbag a little extra thrust with them. Sure, my legs didn't move, but still I had to use my thighs as fulcra for my forearms.
Okay, well, at least a little leverage against my arms.
Yeah, like I just said. Now, why do I consider this lift supreme? Because, in theory, it allows you to lift the sandbag from the floor onto your shoulder in just one smooth move, without any involvement of your legs. In practice, my legs somewhat helped stabilizing my arms, and I had to shove with the contralateral hand 2 more times until the sandbag had reached a stable position on my shoulder. From that point, it's the same technique as the first one. By the way, it doesn't really matter which foot you put forward for standing up. Or maybe it does, but only gets noticeable with heavier weights, so I don't know yet. The third technique is ideal for you if you would like to lift the sandbag onto your lap, but don't like the rounding of the back it usually takes. Personally, even though I'm a physiotherapist, I don't think the rounded back is much of an issue, because at the same time you have the sandbag to brace yourself against. But still, maybe you'd prefer this version here, where you can keep your back more or less straight the whole time, apart from the side bend, of course. I guess it's the actual shouldering move that is the most difficult part here, since you would usually employ the power of your whole legs for it, which obviously you can't when you're on your knees. But to be honest, I wouldn't know for sure, since the weight I used is much too light. To give you a comparison, with 61 kg I can do a couple of barbell curls, although admittedly not very strict ones. That is also the reason why I decided to add a second rep, this time onto the other shoulder, in order to even out the load on my spine again. I also like the negative part of the exercise here. Maybe I will film a short showing me just doing lunges with a sandbag on my shoulder. Please give the video a thumbs up if you would like to see that, or give it a thumbs up anyway if you like it. Now you may already have seen my fourth technique, if you're also following my YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels. That 1 minute video of it starts with me lying on my belly and the sandbag already on my back. But even from there I had to slightly speed up the video in order to show the whole lift within the time limit of 1 minute. So here's a much faster, more efficient attempt, including the whole loading up process of the sandbag on the floor. I really like how getting into this low quadruped position also taxes your adductors, because that muscle group usually doesn't get much to do in all the conventional lifts, maybe except sumo deadlifts and powerlifter style squats. If you've never done good mornings, you may want to start practicing that exercise as a foundation for this shouldering technique. Once again, I wish I could tell you what the most challenging part of the exercise is, but I have to ask you to wait for my soon-to-be assembled 80 kg sandbag. With it, I will try and revise all of the 4 shouldering techniques I've shown you in this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, comment and share, whatever you see fit to do. But if you want to support my channel even more, you can buy a pack of organic whey protein using the link in the description and the code CREATIVE. Have a good time! My name is Florian and I will continue to make an effort so that you don't get bored with your training.